Hi, everybody. It's February 11, 2018. We have another mystery that a meteorologist in Seattle, Washington, he calls himself Sherlock, I guess, and he is trying to solve this mystery of hundreds of trees falling in Washington State. That is a very big tree. We have so many mysteries going on all over the world, and the experts and the scientists and the biologists and the meteorologists just can't figure things out. So this article here on the weather.com site, well, it mentions Cliff Mass Weather and Climate. This is a blog of this meteorologist, and he is trying to figure out what is going on. Was it a microburst? Or was it something else? It took place north side of Lake Quinault on the Olympic Peninsula. Keep that in mind for a second. But Cliff, let's go to his blog. Okay, here it is. And if you scroll on down, well, first he has a part one to this mystery tree falling. Let's go to part one. Part one. There is nothing I like better than a meteorological mystery, particularly one that is not easily solved. So he's on it to solve it. So this took place Saturday, January 27, just after midnight. This is the area: Seattle, the Olympic National Forest, and this is where the trees fell. Okay, and it was right at the July Creek campground on the north side of the lake. Hundreds of massive old-growth trees were snapped off. And here are the pictures. Right on this road. Look at that. So, was it a microburst? Well, a microburst can flatten trees, but what is a microburst? It's a localized column of sinking air within a thunderstorm and is usually less than or equal to 2.5 miles in diameter. And microbursts can cause extensive damage. As I was reading this, I was thinking about all of the people in Northern California, Southern California, in the area where those fires started. And boy, they said Santa Ana winds just picked up out of nowhere. Well, many people had said winds came up out of nowhere. There was no wind, and suddenly high gusts of wind appeared to, well, make those fires go out of control. So, this Cliff Mass meteorologist, there were no thunderstorms, no strong convection in the area. And radar, here, he points to the radar. Well, he doesn't mention the frequencies that I can see in the precipitation. You know, the evenly spaced ripples. He doesn't mention the ultra-low frequency, which you can see right here, the fine lines, defined lines, spanning or fanning out. And that's what he circles. But he doesn't see that. That's our mainstream media meteorologist for you. So it wasn't a microburst. What else could it be? What else could it be? Always asking people to guess. But let's go to part two. And before I get into part two, I want to bring to your attention the end of part 2, announcement, a very interesting free lecture open to the public. The lecture, The History of Cloud Seeding to Enhance Precipitation and the Prospects for the Future. And it will be on February 15 at Kane Hall at the University of Washington. So you guys at Washington, if you want to attend this lecture, it is free. The History of Cloud Seeding to Enhance Precipitation. Now, as you can see, part 2, still Sherlock. He's still on it, but he's still unsure of what brought those trees down. I do want to go over just a few things. Most of the trees appeared to be wind-thrown. Many were broken near the base. The majority of the trees in the area, 40 to 60% of standing trees went down. This was where it took place, and I believe this is Lake Quinault. And he did note that there was activity, seismic activity. The activity started at 1:26 a.m. in the morning, lots of activity, but no tremors were noted at other regional stations. So they're now speculating that the trees falling created the activity. So in the weather.com article, it says that the trees fell right after midnight. So I guess they fell at 1:26 to create that activity. The wind speeds were quite low. There was no real change in temperature, dew point, wind speeds, low. Oh, but look very closely, very closely. There is a downward spike at 1:25 a.m. Something abrupt and short-lived happened. What could have happened? Well, he's very frustrated, and he suggests that maybe it was Sasquatch or an alien visitation. All right. I have posted videos on this article. I've included this article in other videos. Navy secretly conducting electromagnetic warfare training on Washington roads. This was posted March 2016, and it takes note that the Navy had already been conducting for 5 years, beginning in 2011, electronic warfare training in the Olympic National Forest. Oh, wow, okay, right in that area where the trees fell. What are the Navy doing? They're likely to be driving mobile electromagnetic warfare emitters and conducting electromagnetic warfare training. But the Olympic National Forest is big, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that they were right next to that Lake Quinault. Maps. And this is the Navy's maps. They're doing a survey. Where is the best place to conduct this electronic warfare training on the roads in the Olympic Peninsula? I want to point out this map. The circled areas are the roads that look promising for the event. And where are they located? North of Lake Quinault. North of Lake Quinault. So, is it a mystery? Will anybody talk to the Navy? No. No. That cliff meteorologist or somebody else will come up with some asinine explanation, but they will never talk to our Army. But look at these pictures. Trucks driving around the roads on the Olympic Peninsula with their mobile electromagnetic emitters. Just want to point out that there have been an awful lot of trees falling. I have posted videos, but they were on Kafka Winston World, and I don't have access to my external hard drive right now to get those videos. But all of the trees that fell down in Anderson, South Carolina, without any wind, huge trees toppling over, what is that about? Well, look at this tree that toppled over, and look at all of the fungal disease. It's a huge tree, fell over, covered in disease, weakened. The immune system of trees are so weak now that they topple over. And it's really unfortunate that nobody is talking about all of the trees all over the country, all over Western nations in particular. They're loaded with disease. So this enormous tree fell before dawn in North Carolina. Toppled over. North Carolina, this was just a couple of days ago, posted arborists concerned about threat of falling trees as rain moves in. So now trains can't withstand a little bit of rain. They can't withstand a little bit of wind. And the arborists, well, they're saying they're old trees with shallow roots. Why are the roots so shallow to so many trees that are huge? Because they're so sick. Their immune systems are shot from all of the chemicals and the heavy metals that are getting into their root systems, all caused by the stratospheric spraying, the geoengineering. This is a result. The killing of life. The killing of trees. But it's not just in the United States. Netherlands. Look at this.
Die fietser had nog geluk gehad. Daar begint hij. Ja. Oh, die vrouw had geluk gehad. Oh, die vrouw had geluk gehad.
The woman and her child were not injured. But that tree, there is a little bit of wind, but one would think that tree could withstand the wind. You can see the fungal disease on this tree. It topples over. It no longer has the root strength. It no longer has the health. Look at all of the disease. Okay. So, it's not a mystery to many of us what is taking place. I sure wish that these meteorologists, especially one in Seattle, who no doubt knows about the Navy electromagnetic warfare training, sure wish that they would just begin to question what our military is doing. But that doesn't seem to be the way of the world anymore. I'll link below to everything.